maybe pain and pleasure go hand in hand. That's where the BDSM community comes in. We're going to invite those listeners in.
We cracked the code. We understand BDSM now. We are actually a science podcast.
I literally want to be choked and gagged and slapped and burned all at the same time now. I get it.
Sarah!
Oh, I hate that I just did that. Ew, what was that?
I'm pretty sure that's how you open every podcast.
I know, because I feel like I have to fill up the square and be like, hey!
Oh, it's so good to see you. It's been a bit.
大家好，我是 Sala.
For those who don't know, that's hello, my name is Salad.
Or Sarah.
Salad and
Ellery was
Sarah.
just saying that my hair is super long now, and I am mad at it.
Nope, you don't look like a
For
lesbian
those of
anymore.
you who know, if you know, you know, a couple summers ago during COVID, I shaved my head off. Not my head off, my hair off. And it has been a work in progress to grow it back. And like, you can't tell that I am growing my hair out now.
Not in the awkward phase anymore, and it looks really good. For those who can't see, that's because you're listening to the podcast, you're not watching. Get on YouTube to watch the podcast. It's now
Get
a video.
with it.
It's a video podcast, people, okay?
Yeah.
So, Sarah, that's a big life update. You also got a job, another big life update,
I am a working woman in the United States of America.
which is why you're literally never available and take like 5 days to respond to texts because you literally are working like what, 10 hours a day?
Yeah, but today actually I got off early and I was like, bye.
Wait, why did you get off early? Because you were like, I need to record a podcast. Or
No.
did
Dear boss, I must leave work early today due
have a
to
bullshit podcast that I need to make immediately.
hashtag loud foreigners.
Don't watch. We say cunt a lot.
No, I weirdly didn't have a client. Oh, I only had a few clients and then I was out of there.
We're bagging groceries at the grocery store, right?
Honey, I am way more qualified than a bagger. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with being a bagger. We're not classist.
We're not clocking the baggers. We salute the baggers.
Salute.
Thank you very much.
Do the national anthem. Salute the baggers. Take your groceries and
Oh,
go.
I like your form on that. But people don't actually do that. Anyway, no, I work at a clinic that offers services for children with mostly autism, but other developmental delays too.
And are you
Anyway,
just the new cool girl that everybody wants to be friends with?
I'm trying to let them in to see that. That, like, you guys, I'm really cool and chill, and like, you might want to be my friend if you're smart enough. But it's okay.
But they're like, not so sure. She goes like this and wears shirts that say Rick's on it. So I'm not sure.
I wore this one time, and one of my supervisors was like, oh my God, Sarah, I just had a heart attack. I thought your sweatshirt said dicks on it. And I was like,
You were like, oh no, not that. We're doing so well. But that also means our podcast has suffered as a result. But that's okay.
That's okay because we're doing it for us,
and we're here now. And our like really strong 100 fans. I feel like we have roughly like about 100 people, and we want to thank you all, our listeners. We love you, listeners and watchers. Now we say listeners and.
This is thank you in sign language. Wow. Thank you.
Are you learning some sign language?
I mean, I've always known a little bit, but I'm using it more with like the nonverbal kiddos. More, please. All done.
Protestant.
This is Cookie. What did you just do?
I just did this. You go like this twice, and then this, and that means Protestant. Someone taught me that in college, and I have no idea why I always remembered it. Oh, wait, so like the Protestant wants a cookie. Protestants want a cookie. I would love to learn sign language. I think it'd be really fun.
Yes, queen. Queen, like a sash.
So for those who can't see, we're doing sign language, and Sarah just did yes, queen sign language. Can you do it again? I
Yes,
want to learn.
queen.
So it's like this, and then it's a
I
sash.
don't know if it's like this or this, but it's
Oh,
like
is it is it supposed to be like the letter Q? No, it's not gonna.
no. Just yes, like
Yes
yes.
is like this. Oh, this is yes.
Yeah, like nodding
The
yes with
thumb
your
here
fist.
or here?
I don't know.
Huge
I'm not
difference,
too
Sarah.
technical.
Huge difference. This is like ni hao versus 再见. Okay, this is a big difference.
Well, it's all about the context, okay?
So yes, queen, sort of, maybe. That's what we think it is.
No,
Okay,
I know it's like yes, queen,
yes, queen. Okay, I
like
love
a sash. I learned that from a deaf guy on Instagram, so you know
a deaf guy on Instagram. There's
he's
a lot
deaf,
of
not blind. He can still see Instagram.
no. I know that. I know that those are different. Like, he's not Helen
Wait,
Keller.
no, can like deaf people have Instagram?
I am offended that you think that I'm that dumb. But okay. So let's get into our first segment, okay?
Okay.
What's in the news?
Okay, what's in the news, Ellery?
All right, we got to talk about it. The Beehive was mad. And why were they mad?
Why were they mad? I don't know
Beyonce
about this.
fans slam Grammys for Renaissance Album of the Year snub. Okay, the problem with this, can we all appreciate
Uh-huh.
what the problem with this is? The Renaissance album was from 2022. The Grammys 2024 honors work from 2023.
Say it louder.
I'm sorry, but why are all the Beyonce fans like? Did COVID break people's brains and they forgot how time works? Like everybody thinks Renaissance was released last summer. Like, bitch, that's from summer of 2022. Beyonce fans drive me insane.
I'm a Beyonce fan.
No, Beyonce. Okay, the Beehive. You're not a bee from the Beehive, are you?
I don't think I've ever been a crazed fan like that for anybody.
And
To
even if
where
you're
like
not
I
a
get
crazy fan, like you should be able to recognize when it's like going a bit too far, and you're like, okay, I can love the F out of this person without being an absolute insane person when they don't get everything.
yeah, like she's fine.
Yeah.
She's doing all right.
I think she's doing all right. Sarah's news of the week.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so my contribution is a Texan man was accused of putting antiques up his butt while wearing a kilt. So he's at this antique store, and I don't know if they just saw him or um, if it was caught on cameras, but he was observed allegedly placing items in his rectum and then putting them back on the shelves
Oh my
at two different
God.
antique shops. Yeah.
Put it back
He
on the
was a 60-year-old man, and it included a makeup brush, an antique bottle opener, and a tobacco tent can, whatever that is.
Okay, let's dissect here. So, do you think that that is like a fetish? Is it like he's getting off on putting it up his butt and then taking it out and putting it back? Like it's
Putting it back on the shelf.
that's
Like at
okay.
first glance, I'm like, oh, he's trying to steal,
Right.
and he's putting it up his rectum.
It's totally he gets off on it for sure.
Yeah, I like how in the article they say the items that were placed in his rectum were later thrown away because of fecal matter.
Oh my
Like,
God. I mean,
I would fucking hope that you would throw them away. Like a makeup brush?
like
Why
a
is a makeup brush at an antique store?
because it's an antique. As long as it's old enough and like special enough, then it's an antique.
Okay, but I just think that's weird. Like, I'm not buying a used makeup brush.
Well, usually when people are buying antiques, it's not because they're actually going to use the stuff, it's just because they collect it. People who collect antiques are very strange. They literally
He
will.
collects antiques up his ass. I
Well,
just
no,
thought that was
for
so
him, I don't think
absurd.
it matters if it's new or if it's an antique. He's getting off on the idea that people are coming into the store, looking at things, picking them up that were once in his ass. That's the,
Do you think it's a fetish?
oh, 100%. Absolutely.
You don't think he's mentally ill? Or maybe a little bit of both?
No, no, no. I think a lot of the time, um, like if a kink seems really extreme like that, it can seem like mental illness to the average person, but I think no, it's just a kink. It's just
Wow.
a fetish. Yeah. But
Man.
yeah, this is interesting. This is you usually are not so quick to throw around the M word. The
No,
MI.
I know. I
No,
only said that to kind of trigger you to see what you would say.
I am saying no. No,
Yeah.
not mental illness.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's also like this weird fetish he has. When you think about it, is he just pulling it out and it's just like covered?
I mean,
I don't know.
if he hasn't douched and it's far up there enough, then yeah. And if he hasn't shat,
Shot.
how do you how do
If
you
he hasn't
how
shot.
do you feel about the past tense of shit being shat? I think it should be shat.
Shat. Is it not shat?
No,
Shit.
shat isn't technically a word.
I shit. Yeah, you can use shit, right? I
Yeah,
shit 2 weeks ago.
yeah, shit. Not
That
two
was
weeks
the
ago.
first thing that came out of my head. The last time I shat was 2 weeks ago. Can you
Um,
imagine?
shitted. Shitted is also not a word. Yeah.
And our next segment is, did this really happen? Where we tell a story in about, do we say like a minute or less?
Yeah, a minute or keep it under 2 minutes for sure.
Keep
Yeah.
it under 2 minutes for sure. And then the other person decides, did this really happen or not? So it's pretty
And,
self.
and then we talk about it.
And then we talk about it, as we always do.
When I was in high school, I think I was in the ninth grade and my brother was in the 11th grade, about 2 years older than me. I was standing outside at the shower and the door was closed, and I could hear him inside going, oh, 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 oh,
Oh my God, I'm
oh.
so uncomfortable.
And I was like,
Did you start jacking off?
no, I did not. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe he is moaning this loud while jerking off in the shower. Like, this is crazy. And I kind of giggle and like walk away and go on with like
Your
getting.
ear was to the door?
I was like, well, actually, it was like pretty audible. Anyway, then I like go back into my room. I'm like getting ready for school, whatever. He's downstairs on the phone with my dad, and he's like holding his eyes and crying. And I was like, what's going on? And then he's like, I got shampoo in my eyes and it's so painful. It's so painful. And he's like, I'm on the phone with dad. I don't know what to do. And then he was trying to like wash his eyes out with water. So the whole time he was moaning in pain, not pleasure.
Is that the end?
That's the end.
Which brother did you say this was again?
This is Clark, who is a listener and texted me the other day going, where's the pod?
Clark, we're back, baby. Does he watch it?
Yes, he watches. So,
I
and I
think it's
highly
so
doubt, I
cute.
highly doubt that Clark remembers this. It was a memory for me because it was such like a weird thing where it was like I thought I was listening to my brother jerking off in the shower, and then actually I was listening to him moaning in pain. So, yeah, let's unpack this. Well, first, did this happen or not? Did I trick you?
Mm, you're really good at
I'm
this.
very good at tricking you, it's true.
Yeah. But I'm just gonna go with my gut and say it's true.
This one is true. I didn't make this one up.
Oh,
So,
I got it right.
oh, what is that? All right, so what isn't this interesting though that yeah, I mean pleasure and pain are so close together and that the sound of moaning and pain can sound just exactly like the sound of moaning and pleasure.
Wow. Is it really though? I mean, it fooled you, but I'm like thinking about myself, like if I'm moaning in pain, does it sound like I the same as like moaning in pleasure?
And for
I don't
you,
know.
you feel like it would sound totally different? Yeah.
Maybe not totally, but I think it would sound different. I think you would be able to tell.
But I think the other thing is because in what situation would somebody be moaning for
Right.
a period of time while in the shower? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you stub your toe, you go, ow, you know,
Yeah, like ow, fuck.
or fuck, or and then you're like, ugh, that hurt, and then it's gone, right? But the
Yeah.
stinging pain of shampoo in your eyes is like long. It doesn't go away, right?
Yeah,
For
I
like
don't think I would be moaning. I would be like, "Oh, fuck." Like, "Ah, that
that
hurts."
sounded a little bit like an orgasm. Ah. I
Oh my gosh.
don't know.
I mean,
Do it again.
maybe. Close your eyes this time.
Okay.
Determine if this is pain or pleasure.
Okay.
Okay. Ah! Ah!
Teddy. Teddy, what do you think? Did that sound like pain or pleasure? 听起来很痛还是爽? He says both at the same time.
That was just pain.
That was
Good try
only
though.
pain. That was
That was supposed to be pain, but I couldn't do it seriously. Okay, now my turn.
oh, okay. And I can choose either pain or pleasure.
Yeah, and I have to guess.
You have to guess which
New
one.
segment.
What?
I said new segment.
Yeah, new segment. Guess that sound. Okay, here we
Okay.
go. Uh, uh.
I'm gonna say that was pleasure.
No, that was pain. I was trying to do like you bump your knee to ah.
But that was too like guttural, like ugh.
But that's what that's the thing. Like
Okay, so maybe
medicine
we
got it.
proved our point. Maybe our scientific conclusion is that pain and pleasure go hand in hand.
Guys, it's
And
no
that's
longer
why that's where the BDSM community comes in. We're going to invite those listeners in
cracked.
based off of this conversation.
We cracked the code. We understand BDSM now. We are actually a science podcast.
I literally want to be choked and gagged and slapped and burned all at the same time now. I get it.
Who's gonna do that for you?
Well, let's talk about that later.
Ah! After we're done recording. That cannot go.
After hours.
After. Here we go. Sarah is now gonna do her. Did this really happen? Go.
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I was walking around Target, which I have missed Target. Fucking love it. I'm like browsing the makeup and stuff. And I see this girl like out of the corner of my eye, and she's like kind of staring at me. And so I look to her and I'm just like, hi. And she's like, oh, hey. And she's like super overly friendly. And she's like, hey, sorry, I was like staring at you because I just really want to say that I like your glasses. I was wearing my glasses. And I was like, oh, I have like the most like boring pair of glasses. They're like black and like there's nothing to them. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, like, thanks, I guess, you know? And then I continue on shopping. But this girl, like, she keeps talking to me, right? And she's like, so, like, do you live around here? Where do you work? And we're talking about, like, our personal lives. And she's really nice. And so I just continued talking to her. And I was like, oh, like, maybe she could be a new friend. I need friends. Um, and then she starts, like, kind of segueing into like, oh, so like, I know this is like a really personal question. Can I ask what your financial situation is like? Like, and she starts talking about like stocks and
Insurance? Was she trying to sell you insurance?
no, not insurance, but like investing and what's that digital
Oh,
currency?
Bitcoin.
Yeah, and she starts talking about like Bitcoin and everything. And she's like, listen, I know it's sounding crazy, but like my friend in college, like she started doing this and now she paid off all her student loans. She has a brand new car, like she has no debt. So like, would you be interested in like exploring that more with me? And I'm just like, I felt so like backed into a corner at this point because we had already been talking for like 5 to 10 minutes, right? And I was just like, I felt like by saying yes, that she would like leave me alone. And so she was like, okay, give me your number, like your social. So I gave her like my Instagram and literally like a few seconds after walking away, she like sends me a message and she's like, let me know when we can meet up and I'll introduce you to my friends and we'll talk more about, all these amazing opportunities for you. And you know what I did?
Blocked her.
Blocked. Exactly. And I grabbed my stuff, went to check out so that I didn't run into her again. But you know what? The craziest thing. As I'm walking towards the checkout, I see her over in like the clothes department doing the same exact spiel to another girl. She was like being super friendly and being very charismatic, but I saw her because I was like, oh fuck, I don't want her to see me. And I overheard her doing the whole thing again.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take a guess that I'm really torn because I feel like there were moments in your story where I was like, this is sounding like she's making it up, and I can like tell your voice and your facial expressions really well.
Yeah.
I thought that last time, and I went off your voice and facial expressions and was wrong. And I don't
Wait,
think
what do you mean about my voice and facial
that it looks
expression?
like you're lying or making something up. But I
Okay.
thought that last time when you were telling a true story and I was wrong. And I don't think that you would make up a story so intricate. So I'm going to go with yes, this did happen.
This did not happen.
Sarah! Did you get this? Did this happen to someone you know?
This didn't,
Did
okay,
half
so this,
did you do another half true one?
no, 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 this is totally false. This did not happen to me nor anyone I know at all. But I did hear of this happening like on Instagram or TikTok.
Okay, it's totally
And I,
yeah.
it's totally believable. I heard it was like the latest Target scam. Like they go to Target.
I feel like
Anyway,
that makes sense though because Target would have a lot of kind of like I don't know, it's the kind of place that people who want to save money will shop at and they can get all the things in one place and da 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 and like it kind of makes sense like in
but I
terms
feel like me personally, I
of
wouldn't spend like 5 to 10 minutes like talking about my personal life with someone. Like in a store. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that does seem a little bit unlike you.
I'm so excited that you thought it was real.
Well, you're supposed to make something up, and you kind of took it from Instagram, which is something that could totally happen, and it's the exact story of what happened to someone else. So,
Let's not discredit how
I
believable my story
mean, if we
was.
really want to get competitive here, we need to lay out the rules a little bit more.
Okay, but there are no rules,
Like when
bitch.
I told my fell into the beaver thing at the zoo fucking story, that wasn't from fucking Instagram. That I just made up.
Okay, I fabricated a lot of aspects of that story. I took an idea and I turned it into a moment.
I love how proud of yourself you are.
Okay? Like, I even believed that it happened. I was like, did that actually happen to me?
That's what happened when you start telling yourself lies enough times. You begin to think that they're true. I think Biden thinks half the lies he tells are probably true, you
Oh,
know. Oh,
we don't go into politics in this podcast.
why do you suddenly have an Indian accent?
I had
We don't go
Indian.
into politics. What the fuck was that? Okay. Okay. Thank you everybody for tuning in to our video podcast and audio podcast called Loud Foreigners. We're back. We are back on Instagram. Our Instagram is at
Loud Foreigners. LOUD Foreigners. I'm not gonna. Okay, let's try. FOREIGNERS.
Yes. Okay. That was too funny. Okay, and if you are listening to the pod but you are not watching it, go search on YouTube Loud Foreigners and my name Ellery, and you'll find my YouTube channel with all of the video podcasts. We started making it a video podcast like 4 episodes ago, so this will be the 4th video podcast. Yeah.
And technically, I'm not a foreigner anymore. Like, technically, our name
Okay.
doesn't really fit, but it's fine. I'll always be an expat, you know?
In your heart.
In my heart.
Hey,
I'm the girl at work that just got back from Taiwan.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye!